everybody, how are you? These are my pals.
Hello. Hello, I'm Fern.
Hello, I'm Charlotte. I live with Amy. You know me.
Charlotte.
You know me now, girl.
And Rachel at the back, so I'm Peggy right now.
If you like Harry Potter, Rachel has a banging Harry Potter Instagram. Anyway, we went to see Hamilton tonight.
Yay!
You wouldn't guess.
In my video, one of the days this week, I said that we were going to see it and that we were going to do a little reaction or whatever video. So I've got questions that people ask and we were going to answer them. Okay, Phoebe asked, who was your favourite cast member tonight? Right, so I'm going to go first.
You go first. I think I've got a different one to you though.
My favourite was Rachel John, who played Angelica. She stole the show for me. Or the guy who played Charles Lee.
Charles Lee was amazing.
Okay, so mine was probably either Rachel John or the little guy.
Jefferson.
Jason Pennycook.
Yeah, I thought he was so funny. Especially as Jefferson.
When he jumped off the table
Yeah,
in
man.
Ship
He's
Zone.
so small. I love him.
Okay, Rachel, who's yours?
Rachel John, or I loved Cleve. I liked him best as Lawrence.
But also Hercules Mulligan.
Yeah,
honourable
100%.
mention.
But also
Who's your
and
favourite
Hamilton.
then?
Yeah, I love Hamilton.
Yeah,
this
Hamilton's
is just-
amazing.
This is
Yeah,
your favourite cast member.
Yeah, we're like, but we love everybody.
I think it would be Hamilton overall because like obviously he's in it the most, but he did something so different from Lynn, but I still loved it a lot. He's a very good looking man.
So yeah, a very similar question from Esme was, who are the best performers? Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. Alex said, how did the show translate to UK audiences? I think the thing with Hamilton is that we all go in, and I think probably like 80% of the people will already know the show really, really well. So it's just like any show going over. I think that all the jokes landed and everything,
I
didn't
think
they?
possibly we loved King George even more.
Yeah,
They
oh
were
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and like, as
Yeah.
soon as he came on, it was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And the
This
jokes
is-
about Britain as well, like Britain keeps shitting on us. Like we do,
Yeah, the jokes about Britain and stuff, everyone was like, oh, I'm on it.
But do you know what? Can I just say something? I feel like that was the most, like, I don't know, an energetic audience I've ever been in the UK. Because I've never been in an audience where they just clap for like someone coming on or whatever.
Do you know what? I went to see Kinky Boots not long ago, and that audience was like, we were all buzzing, and it was very similar to that, but it was probably the fastest standing ovation I've ever been part of.
Yeah, everyone just stood up and they
Yeah.
straight on.
It was like you didn't even.
No one was like, oh, I'm too
You know those
scared.
awkward
it,
people
yeah.
who like...
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm
No,
going.
no, no.
Yeah. But talking of King George, Amira said, is King George as good as Groff Sauce?
I think so. I really liked him. I think he was really funny.
Rachel?
I disagree. I liked him in a different way, but he's not as camp and not quite as playful, I don't think, but it's in a different way. It's like another serious royal way. I did still like him.
Yeah.
And he grew on me in acting.
Yeah, I thought for me that like, it's different, I think, an American playing such a British role and a king around that time. We obviously have a deeper kind of connection to the monarchy and stuff, and the way that they would have been at that time, because that's our history. So I think that the way that Michael Gibson played it, he will have grown up again with that same English history and was able to connect to kind of the more mental side of things. Whereas like when Jonathan Groff talks about playing King George, he was like, oh, I was being Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jonathan Groff was maybe more flamboyant and possibly more exciting to watch, like
Yeah, I
more
feel like-
entertaining.
Yeah.
Like what you were saying, like America is more of like a parody.
Alex asked another question and they said, did people get the references to the US things? Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no like, and I have to say, I was saying there were bits that, obviously I've listened to the cast album and I've also watched the bootleg many times, but I still like picked up more information this time. I think that there's so much to see. There's like mini stories going on while you're in your story, and there's just so much to take in, and I don't know how people who don't know the music before they went understand it.
Be a
But I
lot.
Too
I
much to
think the
take in, I think.
storytelling is so good though in it.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think
god. Erin said, were there any big differences?
There are two. Thing is that really got me is that I feel like they really didn't need to be changed, and so it just jarred with me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was like, hey, like saying Jersey instead of Weehawken, like
There.
where it is, it's still happening, and Weehawken
Charlotte's
is very
angry.
Sorry.
Because, right, whenever I listen to that song, I don't know, I can't think of what it is.
World
now.
is Widener.
Yeah, that one. When they say that, I didn't know that was a place. I don't know what I thought it was. I didn't know. And
Yeah, I
also,
thought it was just like a
I-
slang term.
I didn't know that John Adams was the vice president, so they changed the words to vice president. But the vice president is a real job anyway, and that made more sense to me because I was like, oh, when I first listened to it, I was like, I don't know who he is. You just know too much about American history.
Yeah, I think because I've just read about it.
Miranda said, is there anything you were disappointed with? I was.
She's very disappointed.
I really didn't like Say No to This. And it's one of my favourite songs. It was not right for me. She was like, on a big note, she was like under the note vocally, and I was like, no, thank you. What were you disappointed with?
I'm annoying about accents anyway, but lots of the time I could hear English accents me out of it because
It
I'm
might
like,
come with
I
time.
focus on it so much.
Yeah, it is the previews that we saw, by the way.
Isabel did say, do they perform with English accents? And no, they don't.
Well,
Accidentally,
they're not meant
They
to.
shouldn't
Yeah, they're not
anyway.
supposed to.
Like, they
Fern, what were you disappointed with?
Being me, Eliza, just because I've always imagined her, and from watching Pippa do it on Broadway, I've always imagined her a certain way, and it just wasn't quite that. And I know it wasn't always going to be the same, but the choices that were made didn't kind of jarred with my idea of the character of her. What we said about her being like acting a bit younger.
It was just overacting.
Were you disappointed with anything, or Rachel?
No.
You're lying, girl. Miranda also said, did the show affect you liking or disliking a character? So much with me. So much. Angelica. I love the sentiment of Angelica, and she's strong and whatever. I've never really felt a warmth to her. I've always felt much more of a stronger connection with the other Schuyler sisters. And the way that Rachel John did it, I was just like, when is she gonna be back on again? And I want to be her, and I want her to be my best friend. And like, I love her. And it just completely changed the way that I viewed Angelica.
Hamilton sequel, Angelica's story.
No, I think I liked Hamilton a lot more, and I found him more like human in this version.
Lynn is
was like,
amazing, obviously, and I would love to see Lynn, but the way that Jamal played it was like, I'd never seen Hamilton that way before.
Yeah, it made him in a new way.
You could
Yeah.
definitely believe that he was like 19 one minute, and then at the end of the play he was an old
grew
man.
with
Yeah. Say about Hercules Mulligan, I'm always like, oh, you know, Hercules Mulligan, you know. But I was like, Hercules Mulligan! I was loving it. I was literally like leaning forward, and I was like, yeah. I was going for it.
Like for some of the songs, I was like, I can't
Yeah,
stop
I was-
myself.
Yeah.
I
know, in like
really
specific like
quiet
beats
there.
and stuff, I was
Yeah,
like, Okay, Rita said, was it amazingly perfect or phenomenally outstanding? Was phenomenally outstanding.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm going the first one.
Oh, controversial.
I'm going amazingly perfect.
Wow. T. Rala said, was King George sassy like Groff?
No.
He wasn't sassy.
He was different.
He was just different,
yeah.
but we've already kind of covered that.
Anyway.
Ryan said, was the setting and what?
Rewind.
Ryan said, was the setting and choreography similar to the original Broadway cast? It was
Same.
the same, yeah. Just appreciated it so much more. Couldn't deal with how incredible the choreography was. I did not appreciate it as much as I needed to.
I like the little like.
Yeah, all they're like,
They pick people up.
And it's the fact that there's always people around the top.
yeah.
No matter what, there's
So
always
cool.
people,
Yeah.
and they're always doing something.
So
I'm
much
fully
to
going
look at.
for it, and you might not look at it, but if you do happen to glance up, that bit of the stage is being used.
Ryan also said, are there any moments that are really different vocally to the cast album? Yes, lots.
The
So
51.
much of it. The other 51, most of what Rachel Ango does, she's completely different to Philippa Sue. Yeah,
If it
it's
sounded
just...
the same, it would be disappointing.
Like lots of Burr's lines were made more like how someone would say something. Whereas I think Leslie Odom Jr. does it to sound nicer.
Yeah. Mrs. Rocket Cat said, any parts that made us cry?
I cried loads. I cried like literally loads, but in the first song I was just very overwhelmed about being there because I just felt like it was about midway in and it just really hit me and that made me cry. Yorktown. I think it was the ones where it was all just very like overwhelming, but
Yeah,
like in
like
the best
epic.
way, where it was just like, oh my god, this is real, I'm seeing it with my own eyes.
Do you know what? I nearly cried when Philip died.
I did
Wow.
because I just thought Cleve was so good.
Yeah, I thought his
His
acting.
little
acting
voice.
was really good.
No, it was
Yeah.
when he like got him and then she touched his little face and
Yeah.
I was like, no.
And do you know what? Oh my god. Do you know what I loved as well? So she had her hands on Philip.
Did Alec try and reach her? Is
Yeah,
that what
when,
you're
when
saying?
Alex went to reach her, she moved her hand and I was like, ah! And were there any speaking parts? So there were two little speaking parts. The only bit was Alexander said something about tell somebody I'm off to do some work or something. You have to Lauren.
Yeah, I've got so much work to do.
Yeah, and then also Thomas Jefferson said something, tell...
When you see Hamilton, thank him for the endorsement.
Yeah.
Summer said, what was Eliza's scream like in Stay Alive Reprise
Good.
at the end?
Oh, that's what I was talking about. Oh,
Yeah.
no, it got me. The
Yeah, I liked
feels.
it.
Yeah, it was good.
Charlotte's
Does
got
she
no
always
heart
do that
though.
then?
It was
Yeah. Joshy said, how many times did I cry? I didn't cry at all.
I didn't cry.
Zoo.
Oh, I cried a
About
lot.
2 million.
A lot.
Nearly when Philip died?
There were times when I felt really emotional, but I don't cry. But there were times when like they were all singing and I was like, oh, my heart.
Yeah, there were a couple of moments where I was like, oh no, it's about to happen. But then it didn't. And then lastly, they all said, what was our favourite part of the show? If you could pick just one.
Satisfied. Without fail.
I don't think I can pick one.
I think,
Or Yorktown.
yeah, I think
Satisfied
Yorktown might be
was
my
a
favourite.
highlight.
I think Yorktown was so good.
For me, it was Satisfied and The Room Where It Happens.
And the room where it happened.
The Room Where It Happens.
Mine was
so
non-stop.
And the
Yeah,
was
Non-Stop was
good,
really
yeah.
good.
It ended on a high.
Yes,
Later on.
it
Oh
did.
my god,
I
yeah.
was like, yes.
I was like, ah. Literally. I'm gonna.
Anyway, there we have it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you, ladies, for coming and being in my video.
Thanks for having me.
Have you been to see Hamilton? What did you think?
Let me know down below.
Bye. Right, Rachel did the wrong hand.
It's better with this hand.
Oh shit.
3, 2, 1. I hate you all.